A lot of people have been commenting and asking whether they should travel to Maui right now on vacation. So I'm going to address that, but I'm going to address it in a way that I haven't seen anybody else address it. And aside from that, in this video, I'm also going to talk about my future plans and what to expect from me moving forward. So this footage here that I'm showing you is the mall at Kaanapali. And anyone who's ever been here before knows how eerie this is. There's usually tons of people here. Right now, you can see there's nobody here. Lots of merchandise has been removed. This is Louis Vuitton, I believe. And there doesn't seem to be any plans to get back to normal. I haven't been able to speak to anybody who's aware of any plan to get back to normal. This just seems to be how it is now. So let's get into whether or not you should come here on vacation. So when people ask this question, and also when I've seen people making videos answering this question, it seems like the main thing they are talking about and the main thing they're asking is whether or not locals want tourists here. And that's difficult to address. There's a lot of confusion around that because there's no consensus, and it's confusing for a reason. There's a lot of people out there who totally appreciate the fact that they're unemployed, and this island more or less survives completely on tourism. It's a huge part of the economy. It loses about $500 million a month all the time this is going on. But there are also a good amount of people out there who are making videos that essentially say they don't want anybody to come here, and there's no real time frame on that. They don't want people going to the beach. They don't want people snorkeling. And so there's a lot of those videos as well. So there's not going to be a definitive answer when it comes to whether or not locals want people here. There's a lot of locals that didn't want people here before this happened. So despite the fact that a lot of people live in the same place and they might sound the same or similar, some of them might look similar, they might have similar backgrounds, they don't all have the same opinions. So it's impossible to answer the question from that viewpoint. But I can simplify it because I can tell you what's going on the ground here, and I can tell you whether I would want to be here on vacation or not, which I think makes the question a lot easier to answer. So first of all, a lot of the best beaches on this island are on the west side, almost all of them in my opinion. So you've got Kapalua Bay, Napili Bay, you've got Kaanapali and Black Rock, you've got D.T. Fleming, and the list goes on. You've got a huge part of the reason to come here is the west side. And the west side is a weird, lawless, crazy place that I absolutely don't enjoy being at the moment. And a lot of these beaches, they've been pretty much taken over by locals. I tried to go to Black Rock the other day, and there was a bunch of people that tried to keep me off the beach. And I think, I don't know if some of them worked at the Sheraton or what, but, and that violates Hawaii state law, but there's no law here in a lot of places, in my opinion. It's just lawless chaos. And you can see downtown here, there's homeless encampments all over the place. There's shattered glass covering parking lots and parking places where you go hiking and things from so many car break-ins. If you go into Walmart, there's $2 items that are behind glass protective things so that people won't steal them. I mean, it's not a particularly great place to be. The west side is the nicest place on the island, in my opinion. There's these cars on the side of the road. I mean, there's sketchy areas. If you were to come here right now, you would either go to Kihei or Wailea, which are straight up ghost towns. And I know because I'm staying in that part of the island right now in a vacation rental and essentially hiding out. I've had to send my wife back to the mainland. And in the complex that I'm in, there's probably 80 units. I don't know the exact number, but there's maybe 3 of them that have people in them. So it's a ghost town. And you can see that there's more bottled water. This is a grocery store on the west side called Times. This is one of the grocery stores that's open. The lack of resources thing is nonsense. There's tons of stuff. I've never seen more bottled water in this store. The shelves are full. What there is a lack of is people buying these things. There's no tourists, and the locals are mainly getting free food. There's not a lot of people in here buying things. So eventually, when you have every vacation rental virtually vacant, and you have so many people unemployed, and you have all this stuff. This is a 5-star resort right here that has trash and motorcycles and stuff everywhere and is just in total disarray. And then here's the food trucks where the tourists typically eat in Kaanapali. Locals don't really eat here. This is a very touristy spot, which is why it's all shut down right now. But I'll tell you what locals do normally do here, which is work. But of course they can't right now, which of course puts the locals in a position of weakness, which probably there are people out there that want them in a position of weakness. If they can't work and they don't have any money, what are they going to do about the fact that the house burned down and that they want to keep their land and stuff? If they're put in this position where there's no economy and there's nobody working and there's nobody doing anything, what's going to happen eventually? And this is the same position they were put in during the last disaster that I won't even mention, but like years this went on. There was just no economy. There's nobody doing anything. And everybody's just reliant on the government for food and for water and for things. And this is just how things go here. And so to answer the question, no, I would not want to come here on vacation. I would not want to buy land here. I would not want to invest in anything here. I wouldn't want to do a damn thing here. And that's just me being honest. And so I have to answer the question that serves the people who are asking me the question, because I think it would be great for the island if people would come here. I think it would be great for the locals if people would come here. But I think the people who come here would have a bad time, because if you think that not being able to access any of the best parts of the island and being bossed around by the National Guard and having sketchy situations and stuff, like that's what I've been going through. If that sounds fun to you, then by all means come here. But otherwise, you have so many places that don't have any of these issues. You can go anywhere in the Caribbean, the Bahamas, Fiji, Bora Bora, Tahiti. I mean, the list goes on. So why anybody even wants to come here is something that I don't understand. I can't wait to get off this island myself. Now, I am a resident here, as I've just proven in another video, but I've completely changed my mind about wanting to be here after this incident and the way it was handled. And I love the people here, but I've changed my mind also because of the fact that I'm in a park and the government's ordering us around, telling us that, oh, you have to come here and you have to spend hours of your day here to get this special permission slip to be able to leave your house and come back, when we live 20 minutes away from a fire where there's power, there's utilities, everything's fine, but we're not allowed to leave and come back. We didn't even live anywhere near where anything burned. I mean, that's how they handle a fire 20 minutes away here. I do not want to find out what the hell happens next time there's a problem. And if World War III breaks out or some other like really serious problem happens, this is the last place on earth I want to be. And when that happened, I was one of the only people in the park out of thousands of people pushing the government for answers, saying, I want to leave my house. I need to leave my house. I need to go get medication, but I don't want to be homeless stuck downtown after that. What can I do? And I didn't get an answer, and I didn't get anywhere, but at least I tried. And I don't want to be the only one trying. So I've come to the conclusion that the only way for me to really cover this properly is to tie up all my loose ends here, get whatever footage and interviews I need to get, and then leave this island and go to a place that resembles the United States to me and what I understand the United States to be. Because this place to me, and many people have said this to me, does not resemble the United States, does not respect big chunks of the Constitution, and is a scary place to be. So I wouldn't come here. I wouldn't recommend coming here. I wouldn't recommend doing any of that, and that's my honest answer. Stay tuned. I have a lot to tell you guys once I get off this island.